Okay, Algebra 2 people, we got our most recent, and this is the final calendar that I put out on June 1st. We should be doing some review. It says review unit 11, but I'm going to focus basically on just graph and sine and cosine because I think people need to work on that. And then you're going to turn in the notes for today, and then on next week, really, all you have to do is the delta math. Delta math will be the final grade. If you choose to do the independent work, I'll go back and replace one of your bad grades or missing grades from earlier. And if you choose to do the Castle Learning, I'll go back and I'll replace one of the other Castle Learnings, or I'll go back and if you missed a Delta Math, I'll go back and replace that grade. So there's 3 things next week. Only this Delta Math is the one you got to do. The other 2 are optional. All right, there we go. We got some practice with sine and cosine. All right, some people getting this, some people not quite getting it. Now, amplitude is simple. That was like in the beginning, lesson 6, I think it was. It's just that number right there in front. It's always positive. I mean, if there was a -5, that just tells me I got to go down on the graph. But you would say, what's the amplitude? It's 5. That means I'm going to go 5 from the center. Hey, where is the center? Well, you see there's nothing here. There's no plus something at the end. So where's the middle? It's right at 0. It's going to be the x-axis. It's going to be right there in the middle. All right, what's the range? Well, I'm going to be going up 5 and down 5 from the middle. From 0. I'm going to go up 5 and down 5. So I'm going to go from -5 to +5. See, if you answer these 2 questions, you should be able to get the range. Now, to get period, you need this thing called frequency. Where's the frequency? It's that whatever's in front of x right there on the inside. So the frequency is 2, and we know that 2 times the period equals 2 pi. So this has to be pi. 2 times pi equals 2 pi. I'm not going to do any real calculation here because this is an easy one. Now, you have a graph paper. They're all the same. We got 16 lines. Why? Because we want to graph 2 full waves. We want 2 full cycles. So by the time I get to the 8th line, I got to have 1 full cycle. So 1, 2, 3, here's 4, 5, 6, 7, here's 8. What am I going to label that? I'm going to label that pi. Why? Because that's the period. I need to get 1 full wave. So this must be half pi, or pi over 2. Okay. We'll label the other one. Well, let's do the other ones now. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1.5 pi. 3 pi over 2. If you want to put 1.5, that's fine. And then this is 2 pi. It's twice as big. Okay. But I'm going to be drawing a sine wave, which starts at the center. Always starts at the center. And because the center is the x-axis, it's going to start there. By the time I get to pi, I'm going to be done. I'm going to draw a full wave, a full sine wave. So again, what does sine always look like? Generally looks like this. That's a sine wave. That's sine. All right. What's cosine look like? Usually starts at the top, goes down, and it ends at the top. But it could be upside down. Same thing here. This could be upside down. But this is cosine. So every sine wave looks like this. Starts in the middle, ends in the middle, crosses in the middle. All right. So I know it's going to cross here in the middle. And then when I get to here, which is, by the way, pi over 4, I'm going to be at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I get halfway between here and here, I'm going to be at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So here's my first sine wave. If I said draw 1 sine wave, we'd be done. I'm trying to make them round. Some of you have this tendency to make them very straight. Supposed to be round. Okay. And then you repeat. Now we're going to repeat. Okay, so when I get here, it's going to repeat. It's going to cross again in the middle. When I get here, it's going to be at the top. It's going to be at 5. In between here and here, it's going to be at the bottom, -5. And we're going to get another sine wave. Here's the second cycle. There's more than 2. There's an infinite number. Then there's another one. Then there's another one. It keeps going forever and ever. All right, so that's done. Let's go to number 2. A little more complicated now. We got, let's see, well, we got an amplitude of 3. It's right there in front of you. We got a midline this time is +5. So y equals 5 is the middle. Okay, so let's start drawing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the middle. I like to put a dotted line there. All right, that's the middle of the graph. It's going to go up 3. So it's going to go up to 8. It's going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. It's going to go down to 2. There's my range. It's going to go from 2 to 8. 2 to 8 is the range. again, frequency, now this time I might have to do some work. Pi over 10. Pi over 10 times period equals 2 pi. How am I going to get rid of this pi over 10? I'm going to do the reciprocal. 10 over pi multiplied by 10 over pi. What happens? These cancel on the left. What's happening over here? The pi's cancel. And I get 2 times 10, which is a period of 20. Okay. So I got a period of 20. So again, I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be 20 this time. Why am I picking 20? Because that's the length of one wave. So this must be 10. It's a lot easier to graph, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be 40. I'm going by 10, 20, 30, 40. But 20 is the key because it's the period. All right. I want to get one full sine wave again. Sine wave again. All right. So it's going to start in the center. By the time I get to 20, it's going to be done. And when I get to 10, it's going to cross in the middle, just like it did last time. And then it's positive 3. See, if that was a negative 3, I'd go down first, but it's a positive 3. I feel like I should have made that a negative 3, but we'll leave it. So it's going to go up first, and then it's going to go down second. So here's one full sine wave. All right, and then I got to repeat. All right, so when I get to 40, it's going to repeat. Here's the halfway point. It's going to go up 3, down 3. And then we're going to get another sine wave. There it is, 2 full sine waves. Okay. All right. All right. I'm regretting that I'm going to change this. So change this on your paper. Ready? We're going to make that cosine because I feel bad I don't have a cosine problem here. So I want to make sure we have at least one cosine problem. All right. That doesn't change much though because the amplitude is, there's a negative 5 there, but you would say the amplitude is 5. That just tells me I'm going to go 5 up and down. I'm going to go down first, but I'm going to go 5 up and down. Where's the middle? That's a plus 2, so y equals 2. Let's start drawing that. So here at 2, there's the middle. How high is it going to go? 5 places up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where am I? 7. How low is it going to go? 5 places down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where am I? Negative 3. What's the range? Negative 3 to 7. Okay. The frequency is 4 pi, and we know that when you take frequency multiplied by period, it's always equal to 2 pi. So if I divide by 4 pi, what do I get? A lot of canceling, a lot of canceling. Period is 1, it's 2/4, which is 1/2. Oh, this is weird. So the period is very short, but I don't care. I'm going to go out 8 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is going to be 1/2. So what is this? What's half of a half? That's a quarter. Half of a half is a quarter. All right, so what is the next out here? This must be 1. All right, that's a half. Double it, that's 1. This must be 3/4. All right. I'm going to draw a cosine wave. And I challenged myself here. And cosine usually starts at the top, but because it's negative 5, I'm going to start at the bottom. All right. So this is a tough one. Starting at the bottom. What's going to happen by the time I get to a half? I'll be done with this wave. I will be back at the bottom. If I start here, when I get done with the one wave, I'll be back there. What's going to happen at the halfway point? I will be all the way at the top. And what's going to happen at these other 2 halfway points? That's when I'm going to cross the midline. See, every wave has 5 important points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now don't draw straight lines. Some of you draw straight lines. Here's the bottom of the wave. There's the top of the wave. And we're going to come down here. We're going to hit another bottom. See it? All right? And then I got to repeat. So when I get to here at 1, it's going to hit the bottom again. At the halfway point, we're going to be at the top. And at the other 2 halfway points, I'm going to cross the midline. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And I'm just drawing it again. And then some of you, again, it's going to turn around. It's never going to go below. It's never going to go below negative 3. So it's going to turn, go back up. It's going to turn, go back up. So that's a cosine wave. It's an upside down cosine wave. Why is it upside down? That negative makes it reflect over the x-axis. All right, last one. Oh, I got the graph all done for you. What is A, B, and C? Can you come up with those values? All right, now don't go in order. Okay, C is the easy thing to get first. Where's the center? And I mean, look, 21 is the highest point. And what's the lowest point? What is the lowest value we got here? There's the highest. There's the lowest. The lowest is 9. And I'm looking for the center. I mean, common sense tells you it's got to be between 9 and 21. How am I going to find this center? The center line, the center of this wave. I'm looking for that. C, it's the average. Average. So C is the average. 21 plus 9 divided by 2. That's how you find the average of two numbers. Add them up, divide by 2. All right. So 21, that gives me 30. You don't need a calculator for this. 30 divided by 2 is 15. There's the center. So where's the center? 15. The amplitude is the distance, up or down. I don't care which way you go. How far up, how far down. To get from 21 to 15, that's a distance of 6. To get from 15 to 9, that's 6. I don't care if you're going up or down. The amplitude, you want to say it's 21 take away 15 to show some work, is 6. There's the amplitude. Okay. By the way, it's a positive 6 because we're starting at the top. And you should also be able to tell this is cosine. I'm starting at the top. It's just like the last one. These are both cosine waves. Okay. All right. How am I going to get B? I have to see what the period is, what the length of one wave is. Now look, if I'm starting here, I'm ending here. So what is that length? What is this distance? Well, it's labeled 21. From here to there is 21 places over. See, it's pi over 2. Or sorry, it's not 21. 21 is the height. Sorry. What is the distance from here to here? It's pi over 2. Pi over 2. My apologies. It's getting late in the year. Not used to teaching. June. Come on. All right. It's pi over 2 is the distance. So that is the period. But we know that period times frequency equals 2 pi. I got the length of a wave is pi over 2. I'm looking for the frequency. How would I get f by itself? Again, don't divide, please. The reciprocal. So much easier. Don't need a calculator. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Those of you who try to do it the other way, you use your calculator and you make mistakes, by the way, because I get a lot of errors. The frequency is 4. So there is the B value. I should call it B instead of F. All right, so now write out the equation. What do we got? Well, the amplitude was 6, and it was a positive. It was a cosine wave. We figured out that B was 4, 4x, and then we were shifting up. How far were we shifting up? Where's the center? 15 places up. There's the equation. You can check these, by the way. You can bust out the calculator. If you want to check it correctly, you have to make your window the appropriate window. I should have maybe I go back to this one really quick. So if you wanted to see this one, you wanted to check this one. Let's try it. All right, clear out what I got there. Let's type in the original equation. -5, I made it cosine. We got some parentheses there. 4 pi x, close parentheses, plus 2. Now if you just do zoom 7, you're going to get a mess. I can't, what is that? You're just going to go, well, zoom 7 is a horrible screen. It's kind of cool looking, but it's a horrible screen. I can't see anything there. All right, so if you want to see this, you should have to say, well, I got to make my window go from 0 to, what do we make it? 1. Actually, see, that was a window. I want to go from like 0 to 1. What do I want to make my increments by? Go by 0.25? All right, and then up and down, -3 to 7. Maybe I'll go a little bit more. So let's do -4 to 8, just to give it a little extra room. We'll go by 1s. Now if I hit graph, I should see pretty much what I drew there. 2 full waves. Okay, so if you want to see it on your calculator, you have to change the window in order to see it correctly. Okay, same thing here. If you want to see this on your calculator, you want to put this in your calculator, you'd have to change this window, and then you would see it correctly. All right, I hope this clears up the amplitude, frequency, period stuff. Like I said, If you need to make up some work, there's a go worksheet. It'll be there for Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday you can work on the Delta Math. Thursday and Friday is the optional Castle Learning. And then we'll be done with this year. All right. Stay safe. Stay well.